Ongoing military clashes intensify as Ukraine continues its fight against Russian aggression, prompting diplomatic talks across Europe.
Ukraine has firmly stated its intention to hold a second peace summit this fall to propose a final formula for ending the war. In anticipation of this, Ukraine and Russia are seeking to achieve as much success as possible on the front right now in order to have a stronger position in peace talks. This is reported by the New York Times. The most urgent diplomacy going on between Ukraine and its partners is aimed at giving the Ukrainians the ability to shape the battlefield in their favor, the authors of the publication say. This is also important because the Kremlin does not seem interested in negotiations, but its mind may change as the situation on the front changes, the article says. It is significant that diplomatic discussions on this topic have intensified after the start of the Ukrainian operation in the Kursk region and the intensification of Ukrainian strikes on Russian oil facilities. And in the same context, diplomatic discussions continue on lifting restrictions on Western missile strikes on Russian territory. The president of the Kyiv School of Economics and former Minister of Economic Development of Ukraine, Timofey Milovanov, noted that Ukraine's enhanced military potential and its ability to deliver quick strikes against Russia's strategic oil infrastructure could bring Mr. Putin to the negotiating table.
The Taliban introduces a new decree prohibiting Afghan women from speaking in public, exacerbating the nation's gender apartheid and triggering international concern. The U.S. Federal Reserve prepares for its first interest rate cut in 4 years, a major move ahead of the 2024 elections as inflation stabilizes. Over 100 media leaders from 45 countries gather for the BRICS Media Summit to discuss the union's expansion and global communication strategies.
Seeking tighter cooperation to counter disinformation. The BRICS Media Summit has kicked off in Moscow with the participation of media leaders from over 40 countries. The role of BRICS media in fostering stability and cooperation in a multipolar world is the focus of discussions. The organizers underline that BRICS is a real force and will not allow the denial of an opinion other than the one that is dominant in the current mainstream media.
A report highlights that millions of jobs, particularly for low-skilled workers and women, could be replaced by artificial intelligence within the next year. Advocates work to save children left behind by migration, many suffering from trauma and violence, as the humanitarian crisis continues to unfold. The British Prime Minister is under investigation over allegations regarding undisclosed clothing purchases for his wife.
But anyway, I have to say, I'm surprised he's still defending non-dom status. He pretends he's on the side of working people, but in private he says something very different. Over the summer, he was secretly recorded at a garden party in Tunbridge Wells, boasting to a group of Tory members that he personally moved money away from deprived areas to wealthy places instead. Rather than apologise or pretend that he meant something else, why doesn't he now do the right thing and undo the changes that he made to those funding formulas?
Japan battles overcrowding and disrespect for cultural customs as mass tourism rises, especially in cities like Kyoto. Prince Harry's 40th birthday is marked by reflection as he navigates strained family ties and an expiring Netflix contract.
Prince Harry is looking forward to starting a new decade. The Duke of Sussex, who turns 40 on September 15th, is sharing some insight into his mindset as he approaches the milestone birthday. Harry tells BBC in a statement on September 13th, quote, "I was anxious about 30. I'm excited about 40. Whatever the age, my mission is to continue showing up and doing good in the world. Harry, who shares children Archie and Lilibet with wife Meghan Markle, also reveals that he plans on spending his actual birthday with his family before going on a celebratory trip with some friends. And of course, Harry couldn't help but talk about his children while reflecting on his upcoming birthday. He adds, quote, "Becoming a father of two incredibly kind and funny kids has given me a fresh perspective on life, as well as sharpening my focus in all my work." Harry continues, "Being a dad is one of life's greatest joys and has only made me more driven and more committed to making this world a better place." The Invictus Games founder concludes his message by saying that he's ready for the next 10 years of his life, adding, "Bring on the next decade." Harry and his family have lived in Montecito, California for more than 4 years, after stepping down as working members of the British royal family in 2020. However, in February, Harry briefly visited the UK to meet with his father, King Charles III, following the King's cancer diagnosis. Additionally, in March, Harry and Meghan sent wishes of health and healing after Catherine, the Princess of Wales, shared that she was being treated for cancer.
The US modifies its military approach following difficulties with American tanks deployed in Ukraine, highlighting challenges in global defense strategies.